Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
We've got records galore in Motown, but not those kind of records, and some competitive cheer championships with razor-thin margins. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. The individual wrestling finals were held at Ford Field in Detroit over the weekend, and the wrestling record book continues to add to its illustrious list of four-time winners. Dundee's Braden Davis, Detroit Catholic Central's Dylan Gilcher, and Davis and teammates Josh Barr and Caden Horwath each won for the fourth straight year. The list of four-time champs now stands at 35. Barr and Horwath, the Davis and teammates, became the first set of teammates to accomplish the feat in the same year. And Dundee's Davis was also a part of 4 wrestling team titles. He's just the 5th wrestler in MHSAA history to win 4 team and 4 individual titles. 3 of the 5 who've accomplished this have wrestled at Dundee. In the girls division, Clio's Chloe Williams pinned her way to a title. She finished the season 32-0, winning all 4 of her matches at Ford Field by pin, to go along with pins in every other match she wrestled in this season. Of her wins at Ford Field over the weekend, none took more than a minute. 70 wrestlers captured individual championships in their respective weight class and division. To read about all of the action from individual wrestling finals, please check out MHSAA.com. Game balls this week go to Heartland gymnast Delaney Gomolka. She was second on bars and balance beam and helping lead Heartland to its second regional gymnastics championship in the last 4 years. And to Saline senior Eli Gray, he was the top diver at the Division I swimming and diving regionals at Novi, posting a score of 375.15.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
There may be nothing more exciting than overtime hockey in the MHSAA playoffs. So what happens in the MHSAA ice hockey tournament when a winner cannot be determined after 3 periods? If a game is tied at the end of regulation, sudden victory overtime is played for a maximum of 4 8-minute overtime periods. If someone scores a goal in one of those periods, they win. Game over. But if it's still tied after 4 overtime periods, then a 5th overtime period and any additional overtime periods are played 4-on-4 until a winner is determined. Let's say a team starts the 5th OT with 2 players in the penalty box. Then that period will start 5-on-3 until the penalties expire. Then at the first stoppage, teams revert to 4-on-4.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Continuing with our theme of 4-time champions, the Hudson competitive cheer squad made it 4 straight Division IV titles as they easily outpaced the competition at McGurk Arena in Mount Pleasant. Michigan Center was second in D4. In Division I, Rochester edged Rochester Adams by less than a single point to capture its first competitive cheer title since 2017. The final scores after 3 rounds stood at 790.62 for Rochester, 789.72 for Adams. In D2, Gibraltar Carlson won its 12th competitive cheer championship and first since 2019. Allen Park was second. Either Carlson or Allen Park has won the title every year since 2007. And in Division 3, Croswell Lexington won its first ever competitive cheer title. The Pioneers had never finished better than fourth until this championship run. Notre Dame Prep was second, Richmond third. It's the first time since 2011 that someone other than those two won the crown in D3. For more on all 4 competitive cheer finals, check out MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Timeline to Gable. Gable straight to the basket. Elevates. Slams it down over top of Orbaugh. Oh my goodness, the tomahawk jam.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star in all the years.
Driver pounds the rock, looking for a passing lane. Got some motion going, got a right corner for Hagel. Pounded defensively by Dudley. Step back three for the lead. Buries it pure. Kobe Hagelin, 40-39 West Ottawa. A step back triple. Absolutely cold-blooded from Hagelin. Giving on to Titus. Titus angles, pull-up shot for the lead. Good. Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down. And the Hudsonville Eagles are state champions for the first time in school history. They bob at center court. Head coach Casey Glass, in his 12th season, has taken the Eagles to the mountaintop. They are state champions. And it's the ultimate revenge for Tri-Unity. Another state championship for Coach Keeler's squad. The defenders of Tri-Unity Christian, state champions in Division 4. 56-45 the final. It is March on MGN, and it is possibly the best place to be in the state of Michigan tonight. This is game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer, prodigal, easy for me to say, son, has returned. Chandler Timmer back alongside me for, again, like I mentioned, what might be the best night of basketball you are going to find around the state tonight. It's Region 3 in Division 1. It's OK Red rivals Hudsonville and Rockford, and then it is 2 of the best run-and-gun, up-tempo, first to 80 might win this thing in the second matchup, East Kentwood and Muskegon. We've got 2 streams tonight. The first stream is dedicated to the Rockford-Hudsonville game. We have it going out in different places in terms of other YouTube and Facebook pages, along with our Michigan Sports Radio main feed. And then after that, East Kentwood and Muskegon, beg your pardon, will close our day. All right, CT, it's been a while since the people have heard from you. Well, kind of. You were from the beach back on the air with us on Friday, but it's been a while since the people have heard from you through the districts. Obviously, a few surprises that we saw, and this matchup is one of them. Rockford, the upset on Northview. Hudsonville able to roll through District 11, and that's what sets up this OK Red battle.
Yeah, a little bit of a different path for both of these teams to win a district championship in advance for this matchup here tonight, but 2 teams that are rivals, already played twice through the season. Rockford having won both of those matchups, but both very close games, and so getting a third go-round in this matchup. Hudsonville looking to change things up a little bit, and Rockford hoping to get that third win.
Yeah, on January 13, it was Rockford 44, Hudsonville 41, and then on February 10, it was Rockford 55, Hudsonville 54. So not very much to choose between these 2 teams for certain, Chandler. When you look at that, I hate to immediately get into the cliches where it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially when the first games were essentially pick'ems.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, if you had seen some blowouts in there and a team is beating the other team twice by a big margin, you're looking at there's probably something to that. But when you've played 2 games, both within 1 score right there, I mean, for Rockford, you're saying you've won 2 close games, you can do it again, and they're looking to make that 3 in a row. For Hudsonville, you've been 1 break of the basketball away from being right in it and having the lead or potentially winning those games. So they've been right there and could easily get a victory history, even though they lost the first two.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fascinating night for sure. We've got a lot to get to on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show, including we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive on these two young teams on the whole as well, younger than they have been in past years, yet here they are in the regionals, and one of them is certainly going to the regional championship game. We know that much for certain, and plenty more other great matchups to look like. We got some film to look at for both of these two squads as well. Hudsonville, Rockford opens the night here at West Ottawa. Do not go anywhere.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
"You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring."
and it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
It's a 3-week journey, unmatched in almost all sports. It takes 8 games of perfection, from Monday night at your home gym and districts to the grand stage of Michigan's largest college basketball arena. Neighborhood district foes for a week, then the best of the region, the best of your quarter of the state, and eventually all eyes on the best of the best from each side of the state, with it all on the line in late March. Every game is a winner-takes-all and a pure display on the hardwood, with styles of play as varied as the corners of the state the teams travel from. To win, you'll need to conjure up some of your own March magic. No one makes it through this run unscathed. There's stories of perfection, stories of redemption, and stories of some of the great names and teams to lace them up in the mitten. We've seen them all here. The greatest teams and players on the west side conquering all. Title-winning moments only March supplies. And the end of dynasties and miracle runs that counter the unmatched elation with an equal emotional crushing. In the MHSAA basketball tournament, moments make the journey. Don't blink, because you might miss one. It's an arduous 3-week battle, but it goes by pretty quick. This is March on MGN.
All right, and welcome back, everyone, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer back with you. It's the Region 3 semifinals. Game 1 tonight, Hudsonville and Rockford here on game night on Michigan Sports Radio. And Chandler, let's get into some of those main talking points that I had just alluded to. And the first point is young backcourts that lead the way. Normally when you look at March, and I know everyone's feeling out their brackets right now for the NCAA tournament, are going through all the cliches of give me 2 ball handlers that are seniors or 5th years or nowadays 26-year-olds with the current NCAA rules. But get me experience, get me, whatever. These two teams a lot younger in the backcourt. You look at Hudsonville, Shamray, a 3rd-year junior, so I guess even as a junior, a ton of experience there. Jovan Daniels, a freshman, played really, really big minutes in the last couple of contests as the playoffs got going. But look at Rockford. You got a sophomore into Kuiper in the backcourt. Irwin, a junior. Pitch coming off the wing, or he's a sophomore. So you do have a lot of underclassmen, a junior in Landis for Rockford as well, that are starting, that are handling the basketball, that are pressuring the basketball. It's one of the first interesting notes of these games. We know how well coached each of these teams are under Coach Clough, Coach Elliott, but young in the backcourt in terms of not a whole bunch of seniors, some experience than a guy like Chambray, but a younger backcourt here works so far, but it creates some interesting elements to tonight's game.
It does. It makes things a little bit unique, but I think you kind of hit on it. These coaching staffs do a tremendous job of getting those guys experience, and they're playing some serious minutes, most of them starting throughout the course of the season in a tough OK Red for both of these teams, and so playing some tough competition. And these are guys that are not being thrown into the role tonight. I mean, these are guys that have seen some minutes and played, have a lot of experience going up against some tough competition. So you got guys like Chambray who've been around starting for multiple years, and then you've also got guys that are seeing minutes off the bench, but that's kind of a role that's been established and they're comfortable in.
Yeah. The stories on these two teams matching each other continues when you start to look at the wing or look at the front court. There's a little bit more senior leadership there. A guy like Joey Pitch, a guy like Charlie Deutsch, a guy like Caden Pokerzinski, all seniors up front for Rockford, up front for Hudsonville, senior Dykstra, senior Vanderveen. They've started, for multiple years. We'll talk about the wing battle a little bit, but then it's the opposite. A little bit younger in the backcourt, but a lot of experience and a lot of guys that play in a similar way up front and guys that can be inside and out with a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, two styles that you really are known. These programs are known for their style of play, and when you look at some of their senior leaders that they've got there, those are the guys that are playing that physical, selfless basketball on offense and really locking things down and playing physical on the defensive end as well, just kind of knowing what their role in the system is and not getting too big for that, knowing what they need to do on the court to help their team play the best. And you've got multiple guys on each squad that are comfortable doing that as well.
And how about the wing that I just mentioned? And it somewhat is covered by this last conversation we had, but it is the one element in this game that I think there could be a little bit of a difference, and I don't quite know what way it's going to go. Rockford very, very solidified there with their multi-year starting 6'4" wing Charlie Deutsch. He's a next-level player, handles the basketball, scores inside, scores outside, good touch everywhere, good defender. We know what Deutsch, of course, brings to the table. Hudsonville, Jonah Dennis, the 6'2" junior, he's been starting games, very high energy, slash as well, but then coming off the bench, a guy like the 6'3" junior, Braylon McFall, a guy like the sophomore, kind of guard and wing Griffin Baker. There's a lot of depth there for Hudsonville that provides a lot of value, a lot of younger value in that regard, versus Deutsch, who's a very solidified piece. We know what he is. We know what his incredible strengths are. We know what his limitations might be and what Hudsonville can do with athleticism to try to counter him. That's the first interesting thing, I think, to look at in terms of they match in the backcourt, they match in the front court. The wing is where things are a little different.
Yeah, I think just a slight difference there in what they're trying to do. And you've got a guy like Deutsch who can play very physical, can handle the basketball for his size, can run the offense a little bit when he needs to, can shoot from deep, but just a solid player that can spread the floor a little bit, use his size, can play some physical basketball. And then you've got a couple guys on the Hudsonville side that are quick, pretty aggressive, can attack, slash to the basket from the wing. Presents a little bit of a different matchup there when they're going to be looking to get downhill and move to the basket versus a guy like Deutsch that can handle the basketball and spread the floor that way.
What a week, first off, it is of basketball as we get into the boys' regionals, the girls opening up their championship rounds. If you're curious what's coming up here on game night on Michigan Sports Radio, on Michigan Sports Radio in general, just check out the Listen Live page. We've got West Michigan completely covered on both the boys and the girls' side in terms of the playoff run. Of course, first off, to pump it up, Brock Conkle going to be there tomorrow night as the Rockford girls are in the quarterfinals looking to punch their ticket back to the Breslin Center. But look at the rest of this week. Wednesday night, boys regionals. MGN, we don't quite know exactly where we're going to be. We're going to essentially either be here or at Kent City for Calvin Christian. If Rockford wins tonight, the plan, I think, is you may likely see Brock Conkle moving his way out here. We'll head out, cover Calvin Christian for the first time, a Squires team that, assuming they do get past tonight, which the expectation is they will, they certainly are one of the best teams, especially for a D3 team. I've seen them once before here in West Michigan. Looking forward to potentially being a team from the Granville, Hudsonville, kind of our main coverage area on game night that could be on their way to the Breslin Center. A lot of other good teams, Tri-Unity, who of course we went with last year, are still looming, still playing. I'm sure Coach Keeler's squad, as always, will be there. So that's Wednesday night. Stay tuned to @MI Game Night on social media for more information on that. And then also stay tuned for whatever girls coverage there may be, a couple different options that we're looking at in terms of this weekend as well. So all of that still coming up and a lot more still to get to here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Let's step aside one more time. When we come back, let's get into some highlights, into some film for these two teams, and maybe look a little bit more at how these offenses work and maybe where some of these defenses that do some unique things as well will be able to find a little bit of an advantage. Don't go anywhere. Be right back here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show in March on MGN. It's the Region 3 semifinals here on game night.
Jerry opened the letter, An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly...
You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Rather than just always relying on one player.
Yeah, Scott Bates Agency pregame show continues here on game night on Michigan Sports Radio. CT, I think the next thing that you have to mention most notably in this contest is break me every time still. Every single time that happens, it gets me. The winners still go to the Heartland student section last year at the Breslin Center. Those guys win every time. Season, and we'll wrap up our broadcast with the Heinz Orthodontics smile of the game.
Yeah, driver. Hi, I'm Chandler.
Oh, wow.
We're going to leave this in.
All right.
This is staying in the show. He is Chandler Timmer. I am Nate Dreyer. This is what happens when you work together for 6 years. The names are one.
We're just one, yeah.
Chandler Timmer, Nate Dreyer. Chandler Timmer, Nate Dreyer. Michigan game night, tailgate report. We clearly have to stop talking. I do at least. I will see you all. I see you too. Friday night, Granville, Wyoming. I think 6:30. We're on the air for that. Goodbye.
And Cam Regner's has scoring report for the Panthers. 4 points thrown at that point guard position. Tough backcourt in general. Getting to some of those other pieces that we have out there. After 3 years, it finally almost came down on me. Good catch. I don't know what kid caught that, but that was a good catch. But regardless, a tough back. All right, welcome back, everyone, to West Ottawa. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, game night on Michigan Sports Radio, Division I. It's the Region 3 semifinals. Hudsonville and Rockford here on the first stream. Muskegon and East Kentwood will be on our second stream to follow, Chandler. It is going to be a packed night. I talked to Bill Kennedy, the terrific AD here at West Ottawa before the game. He said they had pre-sold, and this was as of 3:30, 4 o'clock or so, kind of when I was first getting here, closer to 4. They had already pre-sold, I think, over 1,400 tickets at that point. So, I mean, it's going to be a packed house. There's probably, by the time we get to the end of this game into the start of the second, there's not going to be a single seat open here. And I cannot wait to get this night underway. Of course, as I mentioned, Hudsonville Rockford opens it up. Let's take a look at some of the things that make these two teams tick. We'll start with Hudsonville and Chandler. This team in this highlight package, mostly just kind of based on what was available to us, is going to revolve around Braden Shamray, because you can see scoring the basketball, dishing the basketball, even when a guy like Jovan Daniels is on the floor, he's running the offense. And Shamray's ability to score inside and out, the touch with the floater, the shooting ability, a truly unique third-year junior point guard.
Yeah, one of those special players that you trust him with the basketball at all times, whether he's going to be aggressive trying to get his own shot or whether he's setting things up and going to be able to find someone underneath the basket, kicking it out. He can really do a little bit of everything, hits shots all over the floor.
That last play you just kind of saw, I think, is what and typifies what he brings to the table. His up fake, his ability to draw a defender, his ability to bounce into the lane. Some of the best touch as a scorer in terms of the teardrop shots and the work in the lane, along with being a terrific shooter. He is so much of what makes this team work, but also it's the ball movement in general. This team works the ball around the perimeter so well. They fight it inside, and they have athleticism with guys like Vanderveen and Dykstra to make the offense work even more. The one thing that stands out to me, Chandler, this year's Hudsonville team for Coach Elliott, and even talking to kind of some of their scorers and some of their assistant coaches as well, this is as athletic and as fast of a team as Hudsonville has just about ever had. And you see that way they run their offense.
Yeah, when you've got 5 guys like the Eagles do on offense, they really can be aggressive and swinging the basketball around when anyone that's touching the ball can put on the floor and make a move. You've got guys all around, and it's tough and stresses a defense when they have to respect 1 through 5 like that.
Shamroy had 17 points in the first half against Jenison. You're seeing some of those highlights right there. Now the Rams, Coach Clough's team. When they're at their best, this team truly can beat anyone in the state. We see that here against Northview. You see defense and offense, such a big thing about what they bring to the table. They've been up and down this season, but Chandler, it comes down to three-point shooting. If guys like Landis are knocking down from deep, if guys like Irwin are knocking down from deep off the bench to Kuiper, on and on and on to that list, Deutsch, if they're shooting the ball well, this Rockford team can and will beat just about anyone because you normally know the defense will be there.
Yeah, the defense has been pretty consistent for the Rams all season long. When they start hitting some of those three-point shots, it really opens up their offense and it takes them to the next level. They've got multiple guys that are all capable of shooting the 3 ball and trying to find some consistency there. Is they really don't have one individual player that's going to take the game over and knock down a bunch of shots, but they've got lots of guys that are capable of hitting a couple and really opening things.
As you've seen, it was the Andrew Landis show against Northview that helped lead them to that 53-49 victory last time out. But the defense as well, and they do some unique things with the defense, as you can see, though. They'll play some 2-3 zone. They'll try to slow you down in that regard. I mean, there's not much to slow down between these two teams. They're both going to be pretty comfortable playing a slow basketball game on the Holy State Poker. Zinski, so good. Deutsch, so good. I mean, they came in with so many blocks against the likes of Tyron Thomas and E.J. Ryans. I mean, that's what makes it that much more impressive, I think, in the way that they played that basketball game is they shut down the inside. They went no middle. They took a little bit of a page, Chandler, out of what Hudsonville does. Let's talk about these defenses here as we're running out of time already on the Bates Agency pregame show. Hudsonville against Zeeland West. Very, very effective. They went to a matchup zone, kind of a 2-3, 1-2-2 type hybrid zone. We know Rockford's not afraid to go 2-3. We know they're not afraid to go grinding man-to-man. The one thing, I don't like making predictions because they're normally wrong. The one thing we probably can predict, this game's going to be slow. Both of these coaches are going to think and lean heavily defensively first.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we've grown accustomed to seeing from these two teams throughout the course of the OK Red, and we've got a chance to cover them multiple times. That's typically what you're going to see from these two head coaches is really running things through their defense, slowing the game down, and then executing on the offensive end. I think they might mix it up a little bit differently and have some different ideas of the switches they're going to make there in terms of what defenses they're running and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, two coaches that are going to try to lock each other down on the defensive end and let things play out from there.
X factors in this one, kind of an X factor matchup, so to speak. How about the bench guards for Rockford? You know, you look at a guy like Drake Irwin, a guy like Lucas Pitch, maybe more of a wing. Caden Lepper, also kind of a wing. Liam Peterson, a great depth of guards. For Hudsonville, though, huge minutes for Jovan Daniels. You're kind of looking at these younger players, these terrific bench guards for both teams. Their matchup can be very critical. We know so much of what the first line brings to the table. It's up with those kind of second-level guys. I think that might be where this game's won or lost.
Yeah, I think the further you get in these playoffs, the more players like that are going to come into a factor in a game like this against a rival team. You've already seen a couple times. You look for work and you get some more contributions that maybe you didn't in previous matchups, and I think those guys you highlight are the first ones that are going to be seeing minutes and can maybe contribute some more as well.
All right, both teams wrapping up their warm-ups, and we are ready to go. This has been the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Hudsonville, Rockford, next. It's the Region 3 semifinals. Do not go anywhere.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
All right, it is time to go with the Region 3 semifinals here in MHSA Boys Basketball Division 1. 3 of the 4 teams here tonight in our doubleheader coverage are from the tough OK Red, and these are 2 of the most bitter rivals from within the OK Red. Let's meet the starting lineups here. You see them up on your screen on scoreboard. Hudsonville, the traveling team in uniform and on scoreboard for head coach Eric Elliott. They will start the 6-foot junior guard, Braden Shamray, in the backcourt alongside the 5'10 senior guard, Gibson Heathice. On the wing is the 6'2 junior, Jonah Dennis. Up front, the 6'3 senior, Mason Dykstra. And in the middle is the 6'4 senior, Eli Vanderveen. Kyle Clough coaches the Rockford Rams home team in uniform and on scoreboard tonight. In their backcourt will be the 6'1 sophomore guard, Michael DeKuyper, alongside the junior guard, Andrew Landis. On the wing, the 6'4 senior, Charlie Deutsch. And up front, the 6'4 senior, Joey Pitt, starts at power forward. And in the middle, the 6'5 senior, Caden Pokerzinski, draws into the starting lineup. Hudsonville, the traveling navy blue uniforms, eagles and lettering and numbering all in gold trimmed in white, gold trimming down the side. The home whites for Rockford, numbers in black trimmed in orange. Rockford across the chest in black trimmed in orange. Black and orange trimming down the side. A final word with their teams from Coach Clough and Coach Elliott. We'll wrap up and we'll get ready to go. Rockford goes left to right across the radio dial. Hudsonville goes right to left. Rockford won the first 2 meetings between these two, but they won them by a combined 4 points. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, let alone in March, let alone in a regional semifinal. And Rockford will be looking to try to do just that. A pair of district champions, Rockford knocking off and upsetting Northview last time out. Hudsonville taking down Zeeland West to earn their district championship. Vanderveen will have the jump on Pokerzinski, give about an inch to Caden Pokerzinski. 8 minutes up on the board, and we are ready to go here from West Ottawa. A packed house stands all the way around the court, already mostly filled. We're not even getting towards the Muskegon East Kentwood game that will be up next. All right. Ball is up and away we go. Pokerzinski wins it straight back, but he pushed it on to Shamray, who was waiting in the front court, and Hudsonville gets the first offensive possession of the game. Swung left wing to Gibson Heath-Heiss. Left corner to Dennis. Defended arm spread wide by Pokerzinski. Up top for Dykstra. Right wing with a two-hand pass for Shamray. Left corner extra pass, Dennis bouncing into the lane. Jump stop, offensive foul called. Down to the floor, Landis draws it, and the defense for Rockford shows up right away. That's the first foul of the game on Hudsonville, and it'll be the first, obviously, on Dennis. 7:40 in the first, no score.
20 seconds off the clock. The Eagles getting into their offense, trying to get to that jump stop and going to kick it from the elbow area, but Landis gets in front, sets his feet, draws the charge there. The ball never going to go to the rim.
Pokerzinski drives, right-hand finger roll, rolls out, no good. Rebound down to Dykstra, right to left over the timeline. Shamray to run the offense. Swung right wing to Heath-Heiss, defended here by Landis. Back up top, Shamray down the left side, jump pass into the paint. Dykstra, leaning right-hand shot, strong. Put back tip, Vanderveen rolls out. Dennis securing the rebound at his hip and swinging up top for Shamray to continue the offensive drive. Shamray, defended by DeKuyper, bouncing around a screen. Jump pass, tipped, but settled down. Free throw line by Dykstra. Underhand handoff, left wing, Heath-Heiss in rhythm triple. Rolls out, no. Rebound, Pokerzinski, pushed all the way right wing to DeKuyper. Up top, Landis launches a 23-foot three and buries it. Rockford on the board first.
The Rams getting a chance to move a little bit on the offensive end. Heath-Heiss trying to get back on defense, actually fell and opened up a little bit of separation.
Heath-Heiss pull-up jumper, right elbow, rattles home good. Hudsonville on the board, a 3-2 game. Both teams breaking out the nerves a little bit, 90 seconds in. And both teams opening man-to-man defensively in the half court as well. In this one, again, you'll see some 2-3 zone out of Rockford. You'll see some matchup zone out of Hudsonville. Up top, Pokerzinski, defended by Dennis. Bouncing down the right side of the lane. He'll curl right corner and hand off for Landis. Back right wing to Pokerzinski. Peers at the basket, drives across the floor. Left corner, catch and shoot three. DeKuyper, the lefty, up and good. Splashes that one down. 6-2 Rockford.
Rams shooting well from beyond the arc to start this one. A couple open threes. Pokerzinski takes to the right side to swing it back all the way to left and leave an open corner three.
Short right corner, mid-range jumper. Dykstra off the connector, no. Leaping rebound secured on the second effort by Caden Pokerzinski. He's going to go for a run with it. Handoff, left wing, deep three, Landis off the connector, no. Rebound secured out of a bit of a quick scrum by Shamray, and he'll take it back up here. Shamray pushes left corner, Heath-Heiss, toes the line, launches a three. Off the connector, no. Rebound taken down by Dykstra. Power dribble, reverse layup, good. Mason Dykstra, the second chance points, brings Hudsonville back within a score, 6-4, with 5:20 in the first.
Both teams in back-to-back possessions putting up some deep three-point shots pretty early in the possession. Rams able to make one, and then right there, an offensive rebound off the three-point miss, an easy basket for Dykstra.
Physical defense here from Hudsonville. Top of the key, Pokerzinski turns his back, free throw line on Dykstra. Bounds in the lane, jump pass, battles around off either side. Last touched out of bounds by Dennis and the Eagles. It will stay with Hudsonville, baseline left. 4:59 in the first, 6-4, the early Rockford lead in the regional semifinal. Lobbed free throw line to a leaping pitch. Swung right corner to Landis. Up top, DeKuyper. The sophomore with a three already. Up fake, drives, loses the handle, regathers short right corner for pitch. Curls free throw line. Kicks left corner, Pokerzinski working the jab step. Starts the dribble. Pokerzinski drives. Floater, strong, rebound. Saved inbounds by pitch to Pokerzinski. Turns his back. Finger roll finish. Good. Terrific second effort from the Rams. Pokerzinski gets the two. It's 8-4 Rockford.
Pokerzinski a little bit strong on his first take. Just get to the right hand. A little bit strong off the back iron, but pitch there to get the basketball as it's going out of bounds. Give Pokerzinski one more look at it.
Gibson Heath-Heiss swings right wing for Shamray. Shamray crossover dribble, backs to the elbow, handoff for a curling Dykstra. Cut off free throw line. Turns the back, feeds up top to Heath-Heiss. Drives in the lane. Runner is fouled by Andrew Landis. That's the second foul of the game in total. Now one on either team. 4:11 to go in the first. And Gibson Heath-Heiss to the line, the senior 5'10" guard. He's been splitting minutes this playoff run a lot with a freshman, Jovan Daniels. First one is up with the right-hand free throw motion and rattles out. Hung on the connector but would not fall. Heath-Heiss wears 3 in the navy blue traveling uniforms here for Hudsonville. Dribbles twice, spins the ball in his hands. Quick right-hand free throw, rattles home, got a friendly touch off the front rim. That's 3 points now for Heath Ice in this one, and it's an 8-5 game. Halfway through the first. DeKuyper to slow it down here for Rockford. A couple substitutions waiting to come in here for Coach Clough. Top of the key, Pokerzinski. Right wing, swing pass to Kuiper. Stops, cut off by Shamray. Right corner, Landis. Right wing, Deutsch. To pitch, top of the key. Drives, jump stop. Left corner, gave it on to DeKuyper. Ripped away from DeKuyper by Shamray. He's going to run up the middle of the floor. Braden Shamray feeds right wing to Dennis. Stops, feeds a cutting. Dykstra gets all the way alone on the power dribble, and Dykstra lays it in off the window with the right hand. 8-7 ball game. Whistles cut the air. As Rockford will make a couple of substitutions right here. Lucas Pitch will check in as Joey Pitch checks out. Also, Drake Irwin will come in as Charlie Deutsch takes a seat.
Yeah, Eagles able to push the tempo there, starting with the steal from Shamray, immediately turning it up the floor quickly. Good ball movement in transition to get a wide open lane for Dykstra.
DeKuyper, baseline right drive, kicked around left wing. Pokerzinski, three, down and good. 5 points for Caden Pokerzinski. The senior leads all scorers, and it's 11-7. Rockford with 3:16 and less in the first. Rams offense looking really good early, CT. Shamray force-feeding the paint to Dykstra, poked away by Lucas Pitch. Then Hudsonville brings a little bit of full-court pressure. Pokerzinski takes a rolling ball to half court, where he's run into and fouled by a diving Jonah Dennis. That'll be his second foul and the second on Hudsonville. First substitution of the game for the Eagles as Dennis takes a seat. Griffin Baker comes in. Also, Caden Lepper now will check in for Coach Clough as it will be DeKuyper to the bench. So some of those bench battles that we talked about starting to develop already. 11-7 Rockford over Hudsonville. 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Lepper, right wing, turns the back right elbow on Shamray, feeds Pokerzinski. Pokerzinski drives free throw line, stops, underhand handoff, Lucas Pitch. Turns the back right block, defended by Vanderveen. Handoff, free throw line, Lepper. Spins in the lane, two-hand feed, rolls home. Did a 360 and falls for Caden Lepper. It's 13-7 Rockford.
Nice move from Lepper. At the elbow, they're able to spin quickly, get to that left side. Still the defense there to contest it. Got enough spin on it.
Dykstra bounds in the lane, reaching left-hand shot off the window, and good with a foul. Mason Dykstra, 6 of his team's 9 early, a chance for one more right here. He has looked very, very good. 2 fouls now on either team. As Dykstra goes to work at the line. That foul was the first on Drake Irwin, by the way. Free throw rattles out. Rebound down to Lepper. Rockford to run in the home white uniforms. 2.5 to go first quarter. 13-9 is their lead. Pokerzinski crossing up Vanderveen. Drives in the lane. Jump stop. Push shot. Rolls out. No. Put back. Foul called on Vanderveen. No. It's going to be an offensive foul on the fight for the ball against Irwin, and it will go, against Lepper, and it will go Hudsonville's way. Jovan Daniels comes in. CT, you can clean it up for the people.
Yeah, it looked like Lepper crashing the boards there and ended up going over the back on one of the Eagles on the box out. Pokerzinski there trying to battle for the rebound as well, but it was Lepper going up and crashing through the defender.
McFall also out there for the first time here for Coach Elliott. Left wing Shamray defended by Lepper all over him. Crashing into the lane, reaching around the defender. Right-hand shot off the window and good. Braden Shamray off the bounce brings the Eagles back within a score, 151 in the first.
Yeah, you see some of that creativity with the dribble there, getting Shamray on the board, his first points of the night.
Bounding into the lane, Landis. Held the ball was called as he got tied up with Griffin Baker. Alternating possession stays the Rockford. Quick substitutions back here for Coach Clough as he'll bring Joey Pitch on the floor. He also brings Michael DeKuyper back out there and Charlie Deutsch back out there. A pretty deep team, 8 or 9 deep for Rockford, and Coach Clough will keep them rotating all game long. Baseline left inbound. DeKuyper gets it left corner to Lepper. Pull-up shot, left elbow. Rattles out. Rebound secured by Baker. 1:37 in the first, 13-11, and Hudsonville can tie or take the lead on this possession. Right wing for Daniels. The freshman feeds top of the key to McFall. McFall left wing Shamray. Defended by DeKuyper. Crossing. Shamray stops just inside the arc. Underhand handoff to a curling Daniels. Up top McFall. Left wing Shamray. Shamray fakes a pass. Fires a deep three. Good. From 25 feet. Over top of the defender. Braden Shamray with 5. And Hudsonville on top 14-13.
Shamrock getting a ball screen from Dykstra there out in the wing, waiting to read the defender to go left or right, and sees that the defender going underneath that screen has an opening for a shot and puts it up.
Deutsch bounds left block, feeds up top for Lepper. Right wing for DeKuyper, defended here by Daniels. DeKuyper drives, turns his back on the freshman at the block, hands off for a curling Lepper, jump stop, two-hand feed, rattles home. Lepper the nice touch for the Rockford wing, and the Rams go back on top inside the final 42 seconds of the first. Both teams staying man-to-man defensively here. Shamray in the right wing, backs it out, defended by DeKuyper with 34. McFall in between the rings, left wing for Baker. Baker drives on pitch, hands off to Shamray, but Shamray was out of bounds. Some miscommunication between those two on the baseline drive. Rockford takes back over. Pokerzinski, Landis into the game here for Coach Clough. 29.3 in the first, Rockford by 1.
Shamray just trying to clear out there and go along the baseline and allow Baker to continue his drive, and running out of bounds there well before that pass was going his direction. Baker just not realizing it, trying to get rid of the basketball as he was starting to lose some of his momentum, throwing it to Shamray, who was already out of bounds.
Daniels extending some pressure into the backcourt on DeKuyper with 16 seconds. DeKuyper at the top of the key, defended here by Daniels, still shaking on him. DeKuyper to the left elbow, hesitates, drives, bouncing, two-hand shot off the window and good. 5 now for DeKuyper, and Rockford goes up 17-14. Top of the key, Shamray at the horn to tie, splash! Braden Shamray with 8 and a big answer. We end the first at 17. This is going to be a heck of a battle between these two OK Red rivals. Do not go anywhere.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Through the first, 17-17 after one. Braden Shamray with 8, cashing down a deep triple to end the first quarter of play. CT, this one so far is looking like everything we thought it possibly could be. Maybe a little bit higher scoring than what we thought it could be, but so far the exact battle we had hoped.
Yeah, both offenses opening up a little bit there towards the end of the first quarter, starting to make some more buckets. Shamray hitting a couple threes, that last one right at the buzzer, but for the most part, Rockford in the lead, controlling most of that first quarter, but a late flurry from the Eagles gets right back to tied.
Rockford goes to their 2-3 zone defensively to open up the second quarter of play. Right corner, Griffin Baker up top for Jovan Daniels. Swings it right wing here to Shamray as the Eagles will back it out and start their attack here against the zone. Shamray gets a screen from Dykstra, feeds left corner to Baker, all alone, launches a 3, off the connector, no. Rebound to Kuiper, he's off and running. To Kuiper, to the top of the key, hands off for Deutsch. Deutsch drives, jump stop, lost the ball into the Hudsonville student section. It will stay with the Rams. Last touched out of bounds by Dykstra and the Eagles. 30 seconds gone in the second, 17-17 ball game. Baseline ready to inbound forward to Kuiper. To Kuiper, feeds right corner for Deutsch. Back to Kuiper, just to his right side. Along the baseline, defended tightly here by Daniels. Swung around left corner Landis with a little bit of space, launches a 3, missed it all. I think Shamray may have almost tipped a piece of it. It goes out of bounds, was not tipped by Shamray, and Rockford will give up possession right here to the Eagles. 7:20 to go in the second, 17-17 game. A little bit of kind of a swinging matchup look there zone defensively from Hudsonville as well to answer. So both teams into their alternate looks right now.
Yeah, both teams making some adjustments as we get into the second quarter, something these teams have done throughout the course of the year. Shamray on that last one, very close to having the steal. I think altered that shot quite a bit, being right there, right in the face of the shooter, forcing it off the backboard.
Drive into the lane, Dykstra up top, McFall all alone, launches a 3, rattles down good. Braylon McFall on the board, and a 3-point lead for the Eagles. They go 5 out right there offensively, kind of space apart that Rockford defense, and McFall a wide open look. DeKuyper, right wing, putting the moves on Daniels to the free throw line. Picks up the dribble, feeds left wing to Deutsch. Up fake, bodies crash together. Offensive foul. Down to the floor went Dykstra. It'll go back the other way with Hudsonville. 6:42 in the second. Fourth team foul on the Rams. And foul 1 on Deutsch. Timeout from Coach Clough and the Rockford bench. 6:42 in the second. Hudsonville up 3, getting the basketball. It's not too late to apply for admission at Ferris State University, and you have to make sure you sign up for orientation. Ferris State also offers summer camps in all sports. Check them out at ferris.edu. Golf Emporium has a surplus of golf bags. Anyone who mentions Michigan Sports Radio will receive $35 off any golf bag right in time. Well, I was going to say, when we first started doing that ad read, it was right in time. When you were in Florida, it probably felt like right in time, and then we got half a foot of snow again today. But hopefully that'll be gone sooner rather than later as we continue through March on MGN right here. 6:42 in the second, 20-17. Hudsonville leads Rockford. And we're back underway. Rockford kind of extends their defense right here in a little bit of a 1-1-3 almost type matchup zone look of their own. Now they go back to a man-to-man look. Shamray jump pass, left corner, McFall, 3, rattles home. Back-to-back triples for Braylon McFall. The junior has 6, and Rockford now trails 6 with the basketball.
Couple big threes for McFall to start this second quarter. Part of that zone defense that the Rams are going to. Shamray and McFall running a little two-man game, able to create some separation for each other.
Pokerzinski, left wing, stutters, defended by McFall, lowers the shoulder, into the lane, twisting left-hand shot, rattles out, rebound, Dykstra, foul on the floor. They got Pokerzinski going over the back. A physical battle down low right now, and the Eagles take over. 6:05 in the second, the first foul on Pokerzinski, the 5th on the team.
Yeah, and I think Coach Clough for the Rams and probably Pokerzinski there as well, looking for the foul as he was going to the left hand, and the layup looked like he got a little knocked off of his spot going for that basket, and then immediately called for the foul right after that, thinking if you're going to let the contact go first, you got to let it go second, but nonetheless, the Eagles going to get the call.
Hudsonville backs it out with Shamray right wing, two-hand feed to Daniels. The freshman spins, feeds up top for Dykstra, crosses into the lane, stops and keeps the dribble right block, and backs it out to the corner. Right wing McFall, in between the rings onto the West Ottawa logo, to Shamray, right corner Dykstra. Dykstra lowers the shoulder, offensive foul. DeKuyper down to the floor, and we trade offensive fouls. It'll go back the other way. 5:35 in the second. That's the first on Dykstra, the third on the Eagles. 23-17 Hudsonville.
Yeah, seen a handful of charges already taken by both these teams. Very aware defensively, smart, knowing what the other team and what the opposing player is going to try to do when they put the basketball on the floor and going to attack, able to set their feet. Dykstra picked up the charge on the defensive end a minute ago. They're committing one.
Andrew Landis, baseline right drive, elevates, hangs in the air, and a two-hand feed off the window is good. 5 points now for Landis, and a 23-19 game. Braylon McFall, left corner to Shamray. Shamray, stutter step on the dribble. Curls left elbow with it. Dump pass. Dykstra cutting to the basket. Right-hand shot is good. Mason Dykstra cuts into the wide open and scores. He has 8, 25-19. This Hudsonville offense continues to hum after their great week last week.
Slip into the basket. Dykstra, great pass from Shamray, able to one-handed sling that over to Dykstra before the defense recognized it and able to adjust.
DeKuyper behind the back dribble free throw line. Lost and regathers it. Up top for Pokerzinski. Bangs into the lane. Right-hand shot off the window strong, but a foul. Pokerzinski, a ton of room right there, able to get into the middle of the Eagles' patented no-middle defense and go to the line off of it. That foul, the first on Braylon McFall and the fourth on Hudsonville. 4.5 to go, second quarter. 25-19 Eagles. Caden Pokerzinski, who has 5, will go to the line here for the Rams.
Pokerzinski, even though he got the foul call there, having a little discussion with the official underneath the basket. I think probably saying that's happening quite a bit when he's attacking the basket. Got the call there, and the official just making sure that things don't escalate any more than that he got a call now.
Misses the first free throw, and Lucas Pitch will come in for Charlie Deutsch. One more at the line to get across the 20-point threshold, and it's good for Pokerzinski. That's 6 now for the senior in this one. 4.5 to go, second quarter, 25-20. Jovan Daniels, the dribble and the control here. The freshman feeds left wing to Shamray. Crossover dribble, top of the key. Shamray walks into a deep three, rattles out. Rebound taken down by a sprinting Andrew Landis. Over the timeline, Landis stops top of the key. Spins into the lane, corrects midair. Right-hand shot, no. Put back off the window, yes. Andrew Landis, good work. That's 7. He leads the Rams in scoring. It's a 3-point game.
A nice job of staying with it. Landis, on the first time up, looked like he lost the control, but off the backboard, gets his own rebound right back into the shot.
Baker feeds a curling McFall. Mid-range Jay rolls out. Rebound Pokerzinski, and the Rams down 3 can knot the game potentially here on this drive. Pokerzinski stuttering into the lane. Handoff onto a curling pitch. Reverse layup will not go. Rebound down to McFall. Right to left, Shamray to run the offense. 3:40 in the second. 25-22 Hudsonville. Shamray back steps into the right wing, drives in the lane, right hand floater, strong, and a blocking foul is called. He will go to the line and shoot 2. That will be foul 6 on the Rams, and that is foul 1 on DeKuyper. 3:33 in the second, 25-22. And anxious Jim is working on getting even more anxious right now between these two sides. First one, no. And that will bring Lepper in. Some issues at the line right now for both these teams. One more for Shamray. Got it. That's 9 points now for Shamray. He had 8 of them in the first quarter. 3:26 in the second here. A 4-point lead for the Eagles. Left corner, Pokerzinski. Feeds up top for Landis, stands on the volleyball line, peers at the basket, now drives, jump stop in the lane, fading shot blocked by Shamray, and the rebound down to Baker, pushed on here to Jovan Daniels. Daniels stuttering left wing, hands off for Shamray. Shamray, left corner, Daniels, catch and shoot 3, off the connector, no, leaping rebound secured by Lucas Pitch. He's gonna run, inside 3 minutes to go. Pitch, left corner, Lepper, toes the line, launches a 3, blocked out of bounds by Dykstra. Back to back blocks for the Hudsonville defense. Heath and Irwin will check in here, the Rams keep it.
Baker already was pretty close defensively, was gonna contest that shot, but Dykstra making sure that one was not getting up. The late closeout, able to knock that one out of bounds.
DeKuyper right wing defended by Heath. Fakes right, drives left, spin move at the free throw line. Fading shot is good. Nice work by DeKuyper with the touch to lay that in with a finger roll. 26-24. Once again, a one-possession game with 2:40 in the second. McFall spinning left elbow. A travel is called as he was lowering his shoulder into Pokerzinski. It'll go back Rockford's way with 2.5 in the second.
McFall using his shoulder to knock Pokerzinski back just a little bit, and ended up, when Pokerzinski took a step back, he had to move the feet and travel. Smart play defensively from Pokerzinski.
Hudsonville extending some pressure, but staying man-to-man. Right wing here is Pitch. Pitch drives across the floor, stripped at the elbow. Baker on the floor, snags on for Dykstra. Dykstra runs into DeKuyper center floor, and a foul called on the Rockford sophomore. That'll be his second. 2:20 in the second, and that will send the Eagles to the line for a 1-and-1 on the 7th team foul against the Rams. 26-24 Hudsonville. It will be Dykstra at the line. He has 8 for the Eagles. Wears 32 in the navy blue uniform. Gold trimming down the side for the Eagles, and the first free throw rolls out. He won't get a second one as Lucas Pitch has got the board. Left wing for Lepper. Lepper behind the back dribble left wing. Defended by Griffin Baker to the top of the key. Feeds right wing to Pitch. Right corner. Catch and shoot 3. Drake Irwin off the connector. No good. Fight for the rebound. Foul on the floor against Hudsonville. 2:06 in the second. 15 foul against the Eagles. They will get Griffin Baker on that call. Vanderveen and Landis check in for their respective teams right here. McFall and DeKuyper will take a seat. That's the first foul on Griffin Baker.
Strong box out from Lepper, able to get some positioning on the weak side there, forcing Baker to have to go over the back in order to make an attempt at that one.
Pokerzinski drives, hard pass Lepper, kicked right corner, Irwin, catch and shoot 3, rolls out, rebound spike to the corner, Irwin settles it down for Pitch. Pitch drives, stops right corner, feeds a pass trying to get Lepper that knocks around a couple of times, eventually ends up with Pitch. Pitch feeds Lepper, Lepper dump pass stolen away by Shamray. That was an extended turnover that finally goes Hudsonville's way. Top of the key was Shamray with 1:42 in the second. Feeds left wing for Heath. Heath handoff up top Baker. Left wing for Shamray. Shamray into the lane. Hard pass, hits a cutting Vanderveen. He is pushed along the baseline and fouled. That will send him to the line for a 1-1. 8th team foul on the Rams with 92 seconds to go in the second quarter. 26-24 Hudsonville. That foul is the second on Drake Irwin.
The vision from Shamray there, pulling up for the mid-range shot. Looks like he's going to take that opportunity, and instead seeing Vanderveen underneath the baseline, able to get that pass down there.
Eli Vanderveen knocks down the first. That is his first point of the basketball game for the 6'4 senior. He has one more coming. Officially signed with Hope this week to play football. Second free throw is good, able to get them both. He now has two. Charlie Deutsch will check in here for Lucas pitch. 1:32 in the second, 28-24 Hudsonville. Rockford won the first two meetings by a combined 4 points between these two OK Red rivals. It swung left wing to Pokerzinski, defended to the top of the key by Dykstra. Left wing Irwin, kicks left corner, Lepper up top for Deutsch again. Deutsch defended by Vanderveen, crosses him up, feeds left corner to Irwin, swung up top Pokerzinski, working the jab step, starts the dribble. Pokerzinski drives and is tripped up on his gallop to the lane. It'll stay with Rockford, and that will be a 1-1. No, sorry, that is the team's sixth foul. That's the second on Mason Dykstra. So one away from the bonus. Baseline right inbound here for Lepper. Lobs right elbow to Irwin. Irwin has it poked away by Shamray. Shamray running to the basket, will evade a bit of late pressure. Right hand feed, no good. Rebound Vanderveen. Put back blocked and a foul. Eli Vanderveen back to the line for two. 1:02 in the second. 28-24. That will be on Drake Irwin right there. Team's ninth. First one for Vanderveen. Good. That, by the way, is foul 3 on Irwin, who takes a seat here as Joey Pitch will come back in his place. 1:02 in the first half. Hudsonville by 5 in the regional semifinal, game 1 of the night. 2 different streams, by the way, we're doing tonight. Second free throw, no good. There will be a new stream also on the Michigan Sports Radio website. You know how to find us on the Listen Live page or the Michigan Game Night page, where we'll have that second game, Muskegon versus East Kentwood, which will be absolutely insane coming up. Pass to the right side to Deutsch, poked out of bounds by Vanderveen. It might be first to 90 wins that game. If both teams are hitting shots at the pace it's going to end up going, either that or it might be first to 30 because they're both getting 80 steals. We'll have to see.
It's possible.
Up top, here's Landis. Down the right side of the lane, stops the right block, lost and regathers. Up top for Deutsch, up fake, dribble drive, backs down to the right block, skip pass, up top, Pokerzinski, up fake, left-hand dribble, into the lane, feeds left wing, catch and shoot 3, Lepper, splash. 7 for Lepper, 29-27.
Pokerzinski and Lepper both on the left side there. Pokerzinski has been able to drive into the lane quite a few times. They're just taking one step in off that perimeter, forces the defender near there to also have to collapse in, open up that open look for Lepper.
Shamray hit a 3 at the first quarter buzzer. He will hold for the final shot here inside 10 seconds with a 2-point lead. Shamray double-teamed, poked out of bounds. Last touches Shamray, and Rockford takes over as it rolls into the scorer's table. With 6.9, a mistake from Shamray as the pressure came on to him, and it will go back the other way. Left to right, Deutsch to throw in, full court pressure on, into DeKuyper. DeKuyper running to the basket, left-hand shot off the connector, no, rebound tapped out left wing, and then Vanderveen wisely taps it into the backcourt to end the first half of play. 29-27, an absolute war, just as we certainly expected to see in this one. And welcome into the Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Man, 17-17 after 1, 2-point game now after 2. I mean, a game that could not be living up to the billing any more than what it has.
Yeah, it's playing out very similar to the first matchups between these two teams. Very close, right down to the wire. Rockford controlling a little bit more of that first quarter. The Eagles, Hudsonville there, controlling a little bit more in the second quarter and able to take a 2-point advantage.
All right, we've got a ton more to get to on the Centennial Securities halftime show, including a little bit of a scoring recap that'll be coming your way in just a minute. At the break, Hudsonville leads Rockford 29-27 in an absolute war to see who gets a chance to play for a regional crown on Wednesday night. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back here from West Ottawa.
Jerry opened the letter, An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly...
You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here from West Ottawa. Centennial Securities halftime show, 29-27 at the break. Hudsonville leading Rockford in what has been an unbelievable game, absolutely living up to the billing so far in our first half of the doubleheader tonight. CT, get us our first half scoring recap, please. Some depth for both teams, or at least for Hudsonville, I guess, in the scoring.
Yeah, we'll start with the Rams. 4 scorers, all pretty evenly distributed. DeKuyper with 7, Landis with 7, Lepper with 7, Pokerzinski with 6 points. On the Eagles side, leading all scorers, Shamray with 9 points in the first half, Mason Dykstra with 8, McFall with 6, and then Vanderveen and Heathice each with 3.
All right, a very interesting first half of play. I think the one thing we're asking ourselves is, what are some of the things we can expect to see in the second half? Well, besides, I think, seeing more of the same, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back in just a minute. We'll get into some of those X's and O's changes that these two very, very well respected West Michigan coaches are going to be drawing up. Hudsonville by 2 at the break. We will be right back.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
All right, welcome back to the Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, 29-27. Hudsonville leading Rockford at the half. East Kentwood, Muskegon, both out on the floor warming up before their game later on. I just said you off here, this game's going to be so much fun. We've seen both of these teams several times now this season. We know what they each bring to the table and, the similar things they want. It's going to be nuts. So if you're here for this game, make sure you're here for the next game as well. MichiganSportsRadio.com, the Listen Live page, or MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN. You can find that second stream. We will be doing 2 separate streams on the games here tonight. All right, second half adjustments, Chandler. It's, both teams, I think, are kind of comfortable trying to keep things as close as possible to how the first half was played. The pace was kind of where they wanted to be. The offense was kind of where they wanted to be. What are some of the things we might see explored more? I would bet maybe some of those zone looks that both teams kind of shied away from might poke in a little bit more.
They might. You might see them show them a little bit more in the second half. I think saw just brief glimpses of them in the first half and the second quarter there. And for the most part, the other offense kind of responding to that and able to find some shots off from that. The Rams going to their 2-3, a bit of a zone look there, and McFall hitting a couple threes to kind of take them out of that. The Eagles really not as much in the zone defense. They've been able to create some turnovers in their man-to-man, but there's a chance both these teams, as you're getting into this potentially their last half of basketball here, trying to find something to change it up, even though we've been neck and neck the whole way.
Yeah, Hudsonville really one possession where they gave a little bit of a matchup zone look. Outside of that, they really didn't change much. They did extend some backcourt pressure, something that we don't always see them do in the past a ton. They've done a little bit more this year than I think they have in years gone by. All right, we've got a lot more to break down. Be right back here on the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. 29-27, Hudsonville leading Rockford at the break.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, 29-27. Hudsonville leads Rockford at the break. One more quick reminder that it's not too late to apply for admission at Ferris State University, and you have to make sure you sign up for orientation. Ferris State also offers summer camps in all sports. Check them out online at ferris.edu. Golf Emporium has a surplus of golf bags, and anyone who mentions Michigan Sports Radio will receive $35 off any golf bag. Great deal there for sure. Inside final minute, Chandler. 1 possession, 2-point lead, Hudsonville at the break. Expect more of the same in the second half?
Yeah, I definitely would. I think both teams have kind of established what they're going to do offensively. With the Eagles, you've got a lot of Shamray handling the basketball. He's been able to get some looks from beyond the arc and then create from there, get to the mid-range, and either dump it off or kick it out from there and get some looks for Mason Dykstra in the middle of the lane. I think for the Rams, you've got multiple guys that can attack as well. You've got DeKuyper, Landis, Lepper, all the leading scorers, Pokerzinski, they're right there as well, all being aggressive, able to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. They've had some success that way.
All right, here we go with the second half. Rockford right to left across your radio dial. They will get the ball to start the second half. DeKuyper, Pokerzinski, Landis, Pitch, Deutsch in the lineup again for Rockford. Shamray, Heathheist, Dennis, Vanderveen, and Dykstra start up front for Hudsonville. Traveling Navy uniforms for Hudsonville. Home whites for Rockford. DeKuyper the carry, and here we go. Left wing, DeKuyper turns his back, left elbow on Shamray. Tries to feed it along, poked out of there by Dennis onto the floor, secured by DeKuyper. Feeds left corner, catch and shoot 3. Landis for the lead, rattles out, rebound. Deutsch put back, good, we're tied. Charlie Deutsch, his first points of the game on the putback, and it's a 29-29 ball game.
Deutsch, one of the other talking points, that if the Rams going to erase that 2-point deficit and then come away with another win, their third win over the Eagles, going to need to get Deutsch going.
Shamray hits a cutting Vanderveen. Reverse layup is good. Vanderveen with 5. Really nice pick and roll sequence there to put the Eagles back on top.
And now Another assist for Shamray and a great cut to the basket from Vanderveen, able to finish it.
DeKuyper down the left side of the lane. Bouncing in the lane, poked out of there by Vanderveen. Stolen away by Dennis. Shamray pushes over the timeline to Vanderveen. Up top for Dennis. Left wing Shamray. Around a screen at the top of the key. Defended here by Joey Pitch. Top of the key. Feeds to a driving Dennis. He is grabbed and fouled at the free throw line. 6:57 in the third quarter. 31-29 Hudsonville. Baseline right inbound here for Heath Heiss. DeKuyper draws that foul. That is his third. He'll go to the bench as Lepper will come in his place. Dykstra, right wing Vanderveen, pass away from him. Snagged and secured against his chest and fed up top here for Shamray, who will back it out. Shamray loosely watched by Landis. Right wing for a curling Gibson Heath Heiss. Heath Heiss in between the rings to Dennis. Left wing to Shamray, working the pivot foot. Shamray launches a long three. Off the back iron, no good. Long rebound to the half-court line to a running Pitch. On to Landis, back on to Pitch. Right-hand layup, off the window, good. Joey Pitch is on the board for the first time. We're tied back at 31 with 6.5 in the third.
Rams take an opportunity in transition there. Able to get back and forth, pitch to Landis. Landis was going to go up to the right-hand side, but was already well behind the backboard. Had no choice but to dump it back off, and Pitch following his pass, able to get the two.
Shamray, no-look pass on the lane, goes behind Heath Heiss, stolen by Pitch. Gave it on to a charging Pokerzinski. An offensive foul is called behind the pass. It's down to the floor, went Dykstra to draw the call on Deutsch, and Hudsonville takes back over. Second foul of the half on the Rams. The foul is on Joey Pitch. That's his first.
All night long, Mason Dykstra showing some incredible effort, running the floor for one of the forwards, one of the bigger guys on the floor, getting up and down, able to get back defensively, even in transition there, get his feet set for the charge once again.
He's crashing down off the ball. Both teams wanted a call. Shamray right wing, no-look pass for a cutting Dennis. He gets grabbed across the arms trying to snag the pass and fouled. That is the third of the half on the Rams, and that is the second foul on Pokerzinski. A little bit of foul trouble starting to creep in right now for the Rams. Baseline right inbound here for Gibson Heath Heiss. Heath Heiss throws it to the free throw line to Vanderveen, who was nearly out of his grasp, was able to settle it down on his fingertips and feed left wing here for Shamray. Crossover three, Shamray, 360s and goes. 12 points for Braden Shamray. Off the bounce, makes it a three-point game again.
Yeah, just a couple bounces outside the arc, kind of lulled the defender to sleep a little bit. Not really even a step back, just enough to get some separation there. He doesn't need a whole lot. We've seen him hit some deep threes.
Pitch up top for Landis, curls around a screen, offensive foul, illegal moving screen on Joey Pitch. Will go back the other way, the fourth foul of the half on the Rams, and the second on Pitch. 5.5 to go in the third, 34-31 Hudsonville.
Pitch trying to set that screen and then roll right to the basket, but moving the hips a little bit too soon there, knocking the defender off his place there, getting the moving screen called.
Shamray to the top of the key. Feeds up top, Dykstra. Dykstra lobs left wing, Heath Heiss. Up top for Shamray. Shamray behind the back dribble. Has Deutsch out on him. Throws with two hands into the paint to a cutting Dennis. Poked away from Dennis from behind. Out of bounds off of Rockford. It'll be Heath Heiss to throw in baseline. All right, he stands on the second tee in West Ottawa. Into the right corner to Dykstra. I guess that's the third team, West Ottawa. Dykstra, right corner, double teamed, and a timeout is called by Coach Elliott. 5:07 in the third, 34-31, and we will be right back.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
All right, welcome back here to West Ottawa. 34-31. Hudsonville the lead and the basketball. Heath Heiss, right corner, feeds right wing to Dennis, and the Eagles get into their offense. Shamray swings to Dennis. Right corner, right wing back to Shamray. Left wing Heath Heiss, curling into the lane. Right wing, catch and shoot three. Jonah Dennis, splash! Dennis on the board with his first points of the game. A triple from the wing, and a two-score lead for the Eagles, 37-31.
And Dennis rewarded for his patience on that possession. Had a touch, few seconds earlier, probably could have forced up a three. Instead, passes it around, gets another look at it.
Pokorzinski bounds into the lane, turns his back, hook shot, and a foul is called as the shot rolls off, and that will send Caden Pokorzinski to the line to shoot a couple. Foul is the third on Jonah Dennis, so he cashes in the three, and now likely almost immediately will have to take a seat right here for Coach Elliott, but no one up to come in the game as the first free throw is good for Pokorzinski. He now has 7. No one to come into the game, I should say, for the Hudsonville side, at least. Couple substitutions here as Deutsch and Pitch take a seat, as Lucas Pitch comes in for Joey. Also, DeKuyper, who's working with those 3 fouls, checks back in. 2 for 2 at the line for Pokorzinski. Makes it a 5-point game again. Dykstra at the point. Starts a right-hand dribble to Shamray. Shamray, whip pass, down low. Vanderveen elevates and scores with the right. 7 points for Vanderveen and a 39-33 game.
2 defenders both following Shamray in the basketball, and the recognition from Shamray is to so quickly get that pass down.
Left corner, Lepper, catch and shoot 3 over top of the defender. Strong off the back rim. Rebound to the corner, poked out by Lepper. It'll go Hudsonville's way. He and Dennis were kind of squabbling over the basketball. The ruling is that he touched it last. And the Eagles will take it up. 4:08 in the third, 39-33, the Hudsonville advantage. Shamray, stutter step, bounds into the lane, feeds right block to Dykstra, evades his grasp, taken on by a sprinting Landis, lobs right corner for DeKuyper, launches a 3, but he stepped out of bounds in the corner as he did so, and Hudsonville takes back over. Rockford's starting to turn up the wick and turn up the pace a little bit on their offense right now, but they make a mistake right there of the sophomore out of it.
Yeah, down 6, trying to go a little bit quickly as the Eagles growing their lead ever so slightly, but a mistake there in the corner, just enough of a drop step there from DeKuyper, stepping out of bounds and turning it over.
Shamray up top, loosely watched here by Lepper with 3:40 in the third. Top of the key for Dykstra, fakes a handoff, curls down the right side, gave a shoulder fake, that one knocked out of bounds off of the knee of Landis is the ruling. Rockford faithful saying it had tipped off the knee of Dykstra, but it'll stay here with Heathice on a baseline right inbound. Kicks it left corner where it's snagged and stolen by Landis. Landis sprints the length of the floor, turns his back right block, feeds on for a cutting pitch. Floater is good. Lucas Pitch with his first on the little shot in the lane. 39-35, defense and offense for the Rams.
Yeah, Landis able to just immediately steal that one, jump the passing lane out of bounds, and turn that into a chance to go the other way. Not rushing up a shot, waiting for Pitch to follow him through the lane.
Shamray bounces into the lane, floater blocked, rebound Pitch pushed over the timeline to DeKuyper. Left corner with space, Pokorzinski dribbles around at a late crashing defender. Shot is up, off the side of the rim, no good from the corner. Rebound down to Shamray, 2:55 in the third, 39-35. Eagles want to settle the game down right now, Rams want to run. Shamray backs it in front of the timeline. Left corner to Heathice. Hand off Shamray left wing. Down to the paint. Dykstra turns the back. Hits a cutting Dennis. Swatted off the backboard by Pokorzinski. Rebound Dykstra. Put back no good. Second and third opportunities. Vanderveen comes crashing in from the rebound. Has his feet completely taken out from under him. Down he goes to the floor. And a foul on the Rams.
Lots of opportunities for the Eagles off the offensive glass. Some great ball movement initially to get the right-handed layup from Dennis, but Pokorzinski there to block it, and then it was just a scramble from there.
Foul is on Lucas Pitch. Caden Lepper will take a seat right here as Deutsch is back on the floor. Top of the key, Shamray. 2.5 to go in the third. 4-point lead for Hudsonville. Regional semifinal from West Ottawa. Left wing for Heathice. Around a screen, back up top for Shamray. Fakes a pass, bounces around a screen to the left corner. Shamray keeping the dribble, enters the lane. Runner off the back foot, front rim no good. Rebound tipped 2-3 times. A foul is called on Hudsonville. It's either Dennis or Dykstra. I thought it was going to be Dykstra, but the original, it's going to be on Dennis. That's the fourth on Dennis. That's a big call right there. As with his fourth, Jonah Dennis will stay out there for the time being. Baker now, too late, is up from the bench to come into the game. Deutsch bounds in the lane, jump pass, left corner, all alone. Irwin 3, misses it all strong, and the rebound down to Shamray with a 4-point lead inside 2 minutes in the third. Shamray right wing, defended by Deutsch. Stutter step, jump pass up top to Heathice. Heath Ice, handoff on to Dennis, left wing, rolls through the fingertips of Dennis, out of bounds. Griffin Baker, Jovan Daniels checks in as Heath Ice and Dennis will take a seat. Also, Joey Pitch will check in for Drake Irwin right here. First substitutions of the second half for Coach Elliott. Right to left over the timeline. Here is DeKuyper for the Rams with 1.5 to go in the third quarter. Up top, Landis, catch and shoot three. Off the front rim, long rebound to the free throw line to Shamray. Mason Dykstra holds in between the rings. Deutsch will loosely watch him. Now Deutsch comes to bring the pressure. Dykstra down the left side of the lane, hangs in the air, loses the handle out of bounds. It will go Rockford's way. He was trying to hang up there and draw some contact, did not get the call, and the Rams take over with 1:10 in the third.
Yeah, Coach Elliott having the discussion there with Dykstra, saying once you get to the middle of the lane there, kick it out. He tried to go up for the shot and from attacking well beyond close to the halfway mark, and then ended up losing the basketball on the way up, turning it over. Probably could have kicked it to the corners.
Pokerzinski in the lane, up fake, right-hand shot rolls out, but a travel is called. Coach Clough very unhappy, barking in the official's ear and kind of being taken back towards the bench a little bit also as he was doing so. Caden Lepper will check in right here as DeKuyper takes a seat. Here is Braden Shamray with 52 seconds in the third. Feeds for Dykstra, didn't see it coming. He's able to, at the last minute, get it. Braylon McFall on the floor for the first time in the second half. He has it left wing. Up top for Shamray, 42 seconds. Looks like Hudsonville, with a 4-point lead, may be content to hold for the final shot right here as the Rams are going to set up a 2-3 zone. So the 2-3 zone will set up here against the Eagles, who are waiting for the final shot. Coach Elliott comes running out from his bench in front of the scorer's table with both palms up, telling Shamray just to hold on to it, just to hang on right here. He'll face up against Lepper, who's running that side on the right side of the 2-3 zone with 18 seconds to go. 39-35 in the third. To the top of the key, Shamray launches a three with 11 seconds off the front rim. No. Rebound down to Landis. He'll run with it with 7. Over the timeline, Landis, right wing Pokerzinski, crosses down the left side of the lane, backs it out left corner with 2. Up top for Landis, launches a 3, swatted by McFall, but a foul. A foul was called as he took out the shooter's feet. And that, at the end of the quarter, will send Landis to the line for 3. A broken play on both sides, but we will have free throws to end the third quarter.
Another wild end to a quarter, this time at the end of the third. I think Coach Elliott, a little disappointed. Shamray took that shot with about 10 seconds to go. He wanted the last shot no matter what. So a little disappointed there, and then also trying to get an explanation on the foul at the end. Landis putting up that 3, McFall elevating, getting part of the basketball, but as he landed, taking out the feet of Landis.
First one no good for Landis, has one more coming up. Second free throw rattles out. 0 for his first 2. One more for Landis at the stripe. Right-hand free throw. Rattles home. Got the friendly touch. Landis goes 1 of 3 at the line. And that'll do it for the third. A 3-point game as we go to the final frame. Do not go anywhere.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, final quarter of play. Hudsonville leading by 3 over Rockford will get the ball to start the final quarter. Braden Shamray, the controller to the right wing, defended here by the man-to-man defense of the Rams and DeKuyper. Left wing on a Shamray with space. Launches a 23-foot three. Rattles out. Leaping rebound down to Landis. He's going to run. Throws it over the timeline on to Pokorzinski. Pokorzinski turns the back, left block, left corner for pitch. Bounds in the lane. Back on to Pokorzinski. Power dribble. Shot through two defenders is good. Hayden Pokorzinski reaching and scoring. He has 10. 7.5 to go in a 1-point game.
Yeah, the way things have been developing in the second half, the Eagles want to go very slow, get into their half court. The Rams now suddenly trying to turn up the tempo. They did it in the third quarter, and right away you see a quick possession there and a 2 from Pokorzinski.
Shamray left wing up top for Dykstra. Looks at the basket, starts the dribble, feeds right wing to Jovan Daniels. By the way, there is not an empty seat in this gym right now. They're also rung all the way around the track at the top of West Ottawa. This is going to be explosive to close this game. A 1-point game, and the first minute is gone in the final quarter. Shamray to the right wing, taking his time, drives in the lane, jump pass, left wing, catch and shoot three. Daniels off the connector, no. Rebound straight down to Dykstra, and he scores off the window.
Dykstra was not going to be moved off from that right block on the weak side. Landis was doing everything he could to try to box him out, and Dykstra just did not move. Got immediately the rebound down to him and the putback too.
Deutsch in the right wing up top for Pokorzinski. 41-38 Hudsonville. Pokorzinski, top of the key, poked away by Shamray. Regathered, Pokorzinski drives to the basket. Quick right-hand flip shot, strong off the window. Rebound down to Griffin Baker. Shamray to run the offense. 6:20 to go, fourth quarter. 41-38. Left wing Daniels, defended by Landis. Up top for McFall. Curling to the left wing. McFall, stutter step, pull-up jumper, left elbow, splashes it down. 8 for Braylon McFall. Very dangerous on the pull-up. 2 minutes gone, final quarter, and a timeout from the Rockford bench. 43-38 is the Hudsonville lead. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. The GRS HOF also presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at GRSHOF.com. Have you heard the exciting news that Michigan Basketball Academy and Storm Basketball have joined forces to bring you the best basketball experience in West Michigan? For more information, visit MichiganBasketballAcademy.com. 6:03 in the fourth, 43-38, Hudsonville over Rockford, and a real thriller is up down the stretch in this one, CT.
Yeah, I think every possession is starting to be more and more valuable. I think both these teams have sensed it the whole game, of course, and you've already got two matchups. Ending in a one-possession game for these two. Both coaches kind of know how important these minutes are right now, even though 6 minutes to go, a lot of time, a lot of things left to happen here. Coach Clough getting a timeout in there to talk things over.
6:03, fourth quarter, 43-38. Rockford trailing, but with the basketball. Right to left, DeKuyper on the offense. Landis, Deutsch, Pokorzinski, Joey Pitch out there along with him. DeKuyper runs the baseline, whip pass, right corner for Pokorzinski. Jumps it back, short right corner to Pitch. Defended here by Jovan Daniels, right corner for DeKuyper. DeKuyper trapped up right elbow, tries to feed one into the paint, poked and stolen away by Jovan Daniels. And back the other way, here come the Eagles.
Impressive from the Eagles defense there, drawing up play for the Rams out of that timeout, trying to likely get an open corner three there, but the Eagles defense rather all over it.
Dykstra lowering a shoulder into Pitch, feeds right wing to McFall. Back on to Dykstra, double teamed and fouled by Joey Pitch. That'd be the sixth foul, I should say, of the half on the Rams. 5.5 to go, fourth quarter, 43-38 Hudsonville. So one more, and the Eagles will be shooting free throws. That is foul number 3 on Joey Pitch, the senior. Baseline left inbound. Shamray lobbing all the way in front of the timeline to a leaping Daniels. Here's the 5'6" freshman. Left wing to Baker, up top to Shamray. Left wing Dykstra. Peers at the basket, hands off behind himself to a curling Shamray. Up top for Daniels, taking their time are the Eagles. Daniels down the middle of the lane, Euro step, reverse layup blocked out of bounds by Pitch. He'll stay with Hudsonville. Caden Lepper will check in here for Joey Pitch.
Daniels driving to the right side. Looked like initially wanted to kick that out, had enough of a lane to the basket, ended up taking it, but the defense there able to block it free at the last second.
Shamray to throw in, baseline left. Lobbing for Daniels. out of bounds, but touched out of bounds by Lepper. It'll stay with the Eagles. So left side in the front court now. It'll be Shamray to throw in with 5:10 in the fourth. They're having some issues on this inbound. Shamray gets it in finally to Dykstra. Dykstra for Shamray left wing. Curling around a screen. Shamray down the middle of the lane. Right-hand shot blocked. Out of bounds. Last touched by Hudsonville. It will be Rockford basketball.
All three players for the Rams, all defensively at the last second able to reach in and block that attempt from Shamray. Shamray, I think, thought the ball was going to be off the Rams. He really didn't give it an attempt to try to save it as it went out of bounds, expecting that call and the basketball to stay with him and the Eagles.
I think that was kind of the argument from Coach Elliott as well, but Landis with it here for the Rams, down 43-38. Jump pass, right wing to Lepper. The defensive intensity for both teams really upping. Pass into the paint, poked away by McFall and stolen by Dykstra. I mean, this game just squeezing and grinding right now. There is nothing offensively for either as the man-to-man pressure's up. Up top, underhand handoff, Dykstra from McFall, poked and stolen away by Pokerzinski. Pokerzinski runs the length of the floor, adjusts midair, draws the contact, scores off the window, and one more coming up at the line.
Pokerzinski able to take that turnover. Sometimes that's a byproduct of the intensity that you're seeing from both teams defensively, just trying to get the dribble handoff, and the Eagles losing the basketball. Pokerzinski capitalizing. It's been close to a couple and one chances. This time gets the bucket.
Lucas pitching for Charlie Deutsch. Free throw is pure, and Pokerzinski has 13 in this one. The Rams bring the full court pressure. Daniels beats it over to Baker. Baker backs in the lane. Up top for Dykstra. Swung left wing to Shamray. Shamray trying to enter the paint to Mason Dykstra off of his fingertips, out of bounds. Coach Elliott wants his offense to slow down a little bit right now, but the Rams really speeding the game up as they go to the press for the first time. That 1-2-2 press forcing some issues against Jennison for Hudsonville. 4:14 to go in the fourth. 43-41. Pokerzinski handoff to Kuiper. Swings right wing to Pokerzinski. Up fake. Driving. Cut off right block. Turns the back. Offensive foul. Drawn by McFall. Arms and palms up for Pokerzinski, asking the official about it. That's the seventh foul on the Rams, and that is the third foul on Caden Pokerzinski. The full court pressure is on. It's a 1-2-1-1 Havoc full court trap. Over the timeline to Baker. Handoff for Shamray with 3:58. Right corner for Daniels. The freshman peers at the basket. Hands off right wing for Shamray. Shamray launches a three. Off the connector, no. Rebound, skied for, and snagged by Lepper. Pushes to Landis. Landis run into, no foul called on to Shamray. Shamray to the basket, whips the hands free, lays it off the window.
Shamray missing the three, but able to get back defensively, catching Landis in a spot where he wasn't expecting him.
Driving the lane to Kuiper, poked away, stolen by Shamray, runs the length of the floor, jump pass, right corner to Daniels, up top for Baker, poked and read beautifully by DeKuiper for the steal, lobs to Pitch, crashing into the lane, is fouled from behind on the floor. 15 foul against Hudsonville. Actually, they will call it a shooting foul, and it will send Lucas Pitch to the line for two. That is the second foul on Braylon McFall. 45-41 with 3:21 to go. The pace now has been upped along with the intensity. This thing's out of control.
Yeah, the Rams have been trying to push it for quite a while. Now starting to see the Eagles also play a little bit up-tempo. I think Coach Elliott for the Eagles probably going to try to slow them down whenever possible, but just the nature of we've had some turnovers there and some chase-out rebounds that were allowing both teams to get out and move.
First free throw rattles out. This gym is more packed than when I talked about it 5 minutes ago. Second free throw is good for Pitch. He has three. 45-42, a timeout from the Rockford bench. We'll welcome you inside and stay with you here at West Ottawa. Like I said, behind us is the one place in the entire gym where there aren't people, probably because we have the banner up. I mean, this thing, we're double packed all the way around the perimeter. Every seat in the lower bowl, every seat in the upper portion is taken. This is going to be wild, and it's only going to get more wild with the second game that's also coming up, Muskegon versus East Kentwood.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy night to finish final 3 minutes of this one. You never know what's going to happen, and then, of course, another great game on deck, and you got all four fan bases really showing up right now and going to get to witness some great basketball.
Like I said, over an hour prior to the game, there were over 1,400 tickets sold, and that's only been upped by now. 3:21 to go, fourth quarter. 45-42. Left to right, Hudsonville to inbound, and the full court pressure will be on here from Rockford. They go 2-2-1, full court trap this time. Daniels, far side, moving left to right. To the near side to Shamray. Shamray in the backcourt starts the dribble, defended by DeKuyper. Throws over the timeline to Dykstra. Dykstra dribbling down into the paint, loses the handle, able to save it along the end line and whip it up top for McFall. Right corner for Shamray, up top for Daniels. 3 minutes to go, 3-point lead for Hudsonville. Shamray in front of the timeline, defended by DeKuyper. They bang shoulders to the left wing, and Shamray will back it out. Shamray left side, reaching DeKuyper, can't get the basketball. Crossover dribble. Shamray loses and regathers top of the key. He'll back it out. DeKuyper stays with him and now fouls him from behind. That is the 4th foul on Michael DeKuyper. 8th on the team, 1-1 for Shamray with a 3-point lead.
Just Shamray and DeKuyper there going one-on-one. Offense and defense. DeKuyper trying to reach in, poke in, create something. Shamray trying to lose him with the dribble. I think both teams kind of had an argument. Shamray might have got away with a push-off a little earlier, and then DeKuyper reaching in a couple different times. Finally, the call against the defense.
McFall and Baker will take a seat. Dennis comes in. Vanderveen comes in. Also, Daniels takes a seat. Heathice comes in. So this is the top defensive unit right now on the floor for Coach Eric Elliott and the Eagles. Free throw, Shamray, good. 15 points for Braden Shamray. He has one more coming with 2:43 in the 4th. 46-42, the Hudsonville lead. Shamray, right-hand free throw off the front rim. Low driving shot, no good. Rebound down to Pokorzinski, trailing by 4. Caden Pokorzinski to run the offense. Blowing into the lane, he's fouled. And I think they're going to get Dennis, and that would be the end of his night. Let's wait to hear for sure. And it is. Foul on Jonah. Wait, now it's forced. There must have been a mistake earlier. Now they will say the 5th foul, so I believe the board potentially wrong. It is 5 fouls on Dennis. There's a difference between the official, the Hudsonville book, and the book on the scoreboard. That should be the 5th foul on Jonah Dennis. It is. So Dennis now will take a seat. Braylon McFall will come out. So Jonah Dennis, our first casualty of foul trouble. Surprising, it's an Eagle. That's the first one to have foul trouble tonight. There were a lot of Rams that were set up in trouble earlier. Right side inbound here for DeKuyper. Lobbing right wing for pitch. Landis in front of the timeline. Crowded here by Heathice. Eagles go man-to-man defensively with 2.5 to go. They lead by 4. Landis dribbles off his foot, regathers. Feeds to the West Ottawa logo to Pokorzinski. Crossing up Vanderveen, top of the key. Down the left side of the lane. Push shot. Hard off the window. No. Rebound McFall. Pokorzinski asking for a foul call at the end of the play. McFall is trapped in the backcourt. Got it to Shamray, who gets it over the timeline to Dykstra. 2 minutes to go. 4-point lead for Hudsonville here at West Ottawa in the regional semifinal. Shamray to the right wing, defended here by Lucas Pitch. He'll back it out. Eagles are plenty willing to take their time right here. They may even run a little bit of 4 corners offense. Now Rockford starting the trap, and a timeout is called by Coach Elliott as he wanted nothing to do with that. 1:50 to go, 4th quarter, 46-42. Hudsonville leads. Baker and Daniels will check in, and both coaches look to draw it up. The intensity's been flying. The pace of the game has slowed back down ever so slightly, Chandler, but I think in particular on the Rockford side, we can fully expect that to pick that back up. I think their most effective points in this game have been when they were really running and had Hudsonville a little bit uncomfortable doing so.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to send that trap. You saw it just before the timeout. Force the ball out of the hands of Shamray. Force them to have to move the basketball around and not just dribble this clock out. Of course, down 4 points. They've been able to make some things happen offensively when they were getting out in transition. Of course, minute 50 here. The Eagles calling the timeout the second they saw that, so going to draw something up here if they're going to try to be aggressive and find an attack to that double team to get some easy points and try to extend their lead.
All right, thanks, of course, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities, our 2 presenting sponsors of Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio coverage. This is March on MGN. Remember, doubleheader coverage tonight, 2 separate streams. So after this, stay on either the Michigan Sports Radio Listen Live or michigansportsradio.com/MGN. We will have that second feed starting pretty much immediately after this one ends for Muskegon versus East Kentwood. Right wing, Mason Dykstra is fouled. He will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Hudsonville going defense for offense right now. Heathice and Vanderveen come in for Baker and Daniels. Expect that for the rest of the game.
Rams electing immediately once that basketball was in the hands of Dykstra, having Lepper commit the foul intentionally there.
Joey Pitch, who's been battling some foul trouble, will come in here for Caden Lepper on the offensive side of the floor. That was a foul on Lepper, by the way. That was his second. 1-and-1 at the line here for Dykstra. Bends the knees. Free throw up. Off the connector, no. But a rebound down to McFall. Pass up top, tipped, but settled down by Heath Heiss with 1:44. Heath Heiss then puts it straight into the chest of Landis. Grabs onto Landis. And a foul was called. And Landis goes to the line for a 1-and-1. Mistake right there from the senior guard, Gibson Heath Heiss.
The Rams somehow surviving that potential killer and giving up the rebound off the missed 1-and-1. Kept the possession alive for the Eagles, but Landis immediately able to make up for it and steal the basketball right away and get himself a chance on the other end.
Such a big week in playoff basketball, especially for this Rockford community tomorrow night. The quarterfinal game, Rockford girls back in action. Free throw off the connector, no good for Landis. Rebound down to McFall. Brock Conkle will be there tomorrow night with the coverage as the Rams ladies try to advance on to the Breslin Center again. Dykstra turns at the free throw line off a feed from Shamray, and he is fouled by DeKuyper, and that will send him to the line, and I believe that now is 5 on DeKuyper. It is. Michael DeKuyper done for the night, and Dykstra to the line with 91 seconds to go. A 4-point game, but the foul game already starting. Makes a little bit of sense. There's been some issues for both teams at the line.
And both teams missing some chances, back-to-back possessions on the 1-on-1, missing the front end. Looks like the Rams have identified Dykstra as the guy they're trying to force the basketball to and then quickly foul. You can see Coach Clough saying when Shamray had the basketball, don't foul him. And as soon as the basketball passed up the floor to Dykstra, having DeKuyper go in there and commit his 5th.
First free throw for Dykstra is good. 11 points now for the senior. The lead is 46-42. Sorry, 48-42. 91 seconds to go. Up, no good. Now the scoreboard correct. 47-42 is the score. Second free throw, no good. 5-point lead. Deutsch up top. Pokerzinski into some space. Launches a 3. Splash! Caden Pokerzinski with 16 brings the Rams back within 2. 1:21 in the fourth. And the senior that's been making plays just like that for the Rams for years comes up in the significant clutch right there and knocks home the big triple top of the key.
Pokerzinski has been that guy, as you said, for years, but especially here in the second half, making some plays. The Eagles have been threatening to extend their lead for a while now in this second half, and Pokerzinski's typically been the one that's going and making a play, being aggressive on the other end, and none bigger than that 3 right there.
1:21 in the fourth, 47-45. A rockin' atmosphere. And again, what a week this is. I know there's so many games going on Michigan Sports Radio tonight. You mentioned the girls' Rockford game, Rock games in general tomorrow night. West Catholic also in the quarterfinals. Both those games on Michigan Sports Radio. The rest of the regionals, girls' action from the Breslin Center on Michigan Sports Radio. This is the start of the best 2-week run. I'd have to say, include last week too. Let's make it a 3-week run of the entire year in basketball, and really some of the best in general we have on Michigan Sports Radio and Michigan Game Night. Nate Dreyer with Chandler Timber tonight. 1:21 to go in the fourth quarter. 47-45. Hudsonville leads by 2. Rockford brings out the 1-2-1-1 diamond and 1 full court trap. Dykstra to throw in from along the baseline. Looking for the inbound lane. Has it right in front of the baseline to Shamray. Locked up by Pokerzinski. Shamray throws all the way over the timeline to Baker. Lob pass on to McFall. Drives to the basket. Reaching reverse layup. No good. But Mason Dykstra from behind skies and taps it in for the score. To the basket, Landis blocked away. Chase to the rebound. To a side scrum on the floor, out of bounds. Stays with Rockford with 58 seconds. 49-45. The miss from McFall, but what a play on the touchback from Mason Dykstra.
Yeah, the Eagles able to break that pressure. Got up the floor. McFall had the chance on the reverse layup. Missed it. That's a tough look. The defense there closing out at the last second, but the effort from Dykstra all night. Once again, they're able to run the lane and finish that one possession.
Landis with 55 seconds. Big screen set from Deutsch to the right wing. Back up top for Deutsch. Defended by Heath Heiss. Left wing, Pokerzinski catching through, shoot 3. Too strong, misses everything. Rebound Dykstra. Thrown to Shamray in the backcourt. Shamray to the left side on to Heath Heiss. Heath Heiss still in the backcourt. Whip pass right side Shamray. Timeout from a very unhappy Coach Eric Elliott. 38.2 in the fourth. 49-45. Let's stay with you through this break. We'll welcome you back in here up top at West Ottawa. A wild sequence, just like we expected we would see down the stretch. Pokorzinski's three just opened up madness for the last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, it did. Pokorzinski able to hit the three a minute ago to close this one back down, and then missing one there, but now it's going to be the free throw game the rest of the way. The Rams started playing it a little earlier, mainly just fouling some of the forwards for the Eagles when they were catching the basketball, but now pretty soon with 38 seconds left and down 4 points, you're going to have to foul pretty quickly here. They've been trying to get the 10-second call or a trap in the backcourt, but really don't have a ton of time to play with that anymore.
Hudsonville are into the double bonus. Rockford is into the bonus. 38.2 seconds to go, 4-point lead for Hudsonville. Rockford by a combined 4 points. Won the first two meetings of the year, and it'll be a near side going left to right, backcourt inbound for the Eagles, thrown all the way far side to McFall. Jump pass to Jovan Daniels, lobs over the timeline, right wing to Baker. Baker to Daniels with 31. Skip past Shamray, grabbed and fouled by Andrew Landis. There'll be two at the line for Braden Shamray, the guy that Hudsonville wanted going to the line there.
Looked like Landis for the Rams pretty soon off that inbounds pass was trying to foul the freshman Jovan Daniels and did not get the call. The basketball getting in the hands of Shamray instead.
Shamray, right foot just offset in front of the left, and the free throw is down and good. 16 points for Braden Shamray. That was the second foul, by the way, on Landis. Daniels will take a seat. Vanderveen comes in. Also McFall back in as Baker takes a seat. Free throw up for Shamray, splash. He hit them both. 17 for Shamray, 51-45 game. Inbounded to Landis up the right side of the floor with 28 seconds. Over the timeline. Landis, top of the key, launches his three from the volleyball line. Off the front rim, no. Rebound, saved inbounds by Vanderveen to Shamray. Trapped along the baseline and fouled by Pitch. Two at the line for Shamray. Hudsonville faithful have got a feeling, Chandler, as Shamray will go to the line. That's the second foul on Lucas Pitch, and a 6-point lead here for the Eagles. Free throw, Shamray, good. He has 18. Number 2 in Navy, one more chance at the line. Right hand free throw, splash. Hit it pure, 19 points for Shamray. Timeout from Coach Elliott. He wants to set things up for the final 17 seconds here. His team leads by 8, and the Hudsonville faithful are going to crank it up one more time right here into this timeout. Execution down the stretch. Some missed shots for Rockford when they had their chance. Some chances for rebounds that battle in both directions. This was the kind of game you knew it was going to come down to who made one or two more plays, and right now it looks like that's going to be the Eagles to ensure that it's not a clean sweep from Rockford and they get the win in the game that everyone wants the most.
Yeah, we've seen the same game essentially play out 3 different times here. The only difference, the Eagles are the ones making some plays down the stretch this time, looking like they're going to reverse the first 2 matchups in the regular season and going to hold on here. Some big plays, getting their free throw shooters, and with the guy they want at the free throw line, Shamray. Spend money there the last couple trips down and extending this lead, now just trying to hold on for 17 seconds.
By the way, if you're a fan of storylines, in the regional final, assuming Hudsonville's there, your options are they have a rematch of the conference championship game with East Kentwood, or they have a rematch with Muskegon. The last time there was a regional championship game held on this floor, quadruple overtime game, Muskegon over Hudsonville. Deontay Davis was on that Muskegon team. Landis lobs to Pitch, back on the Landis with 15 seconds over the timeline. Landis drives, right corner, catch and shoot 3. Pokorzinski, yes, right down the hatch. Caden Pokorzinski with a triple. He has 19 and brings his team within 53-48. Again, a big answer from Pokorzinski, who's been right there answering the bell from Shamray all night long. Scott Bates is your local Granville, Jenison, and Hudsonville Farmers Insurance agent and is a great longtime supporter of Game Night and offers business insurance, auto, homeowners coverage, and more. Give Scott a call today at 616-531-3441 or stop into the agency located at 3181 Prairie Street Southwest in Granville. So once again now, we're going to see that Havoc full court press brought back out by the Rams, and they're one steal away and one basket away from really making this a much more interesting final couple of seconds.
Yeah, big swing right there, keeping the game alive. Pokorzinski once again able to hit the corner 3. Another big one, his second one here in the fourth quarter, keeping the Rams in it. Now only taking right around 7 seconds off on that possession to cut the lead down 3 points. Now only 5.
Rockford and Hudsonville, each district champions. Hudsonville over Zeeland West last time out. The Northview upset for Rockford. The Rams going to have to pull some magic if they're to extend their season right here. They go to the diamond in one press with 9.9 to go in the final quarter. 53-48 Hudsonville. Dykstra to inbound. The inbound is going to be watched by a leaping Pokerzinski. Dykstra running the floor to the left side. Inbounds to Baker. He's fouled. The Rockford cheering section potentially wanted a travel called as he stopped. The foul will be on Joey Pitch, and it will send Griffin Baker, the sophomore, to the line. That's the 4th foul on Pitch.
A bang there in the far corner. Baker catching that one. Looked like he might have got away with an extra step or two as he was gathering that. All a matter of time as when the official determined he had possession of the basketball and when exactly that foul came, but it was very close.
Baker, first free throw, good. That was pure. Believe it or not, that is the first point of the game for Griffin Baker, who was consistently in double-digit scoring last week in the district rounds. He'll have one more at the line in a 54-48 game. Toes the line with both feet. Right-hand free throw, good. He spins it home. 2 for Baker, 55-48 game. Vanderveen will check in for him. Lepper will get ready to throw this one on in. He should have rolled it. He will. He'll roll it up to half court to Landis, up the right side of the floor. Landis launches a 3 from the volleyball line, rattles out. Rebound tapped out of bounds purposefully by McFall with 2.8. But here is the inbound coming up for Rockford. Lepper to throw in. Left wing, Landis, 3 at the buzzer, no good. Put back, down and good. If it was after the buzzer from Pitch, it doesn't matter. Hudsonville is on their way to the next round. The Eagles will not fall 3 times in a row to the Rams. They pick up a regional semifinal win in a grudge match. Hudsonville 55, Rockford 50. A game, Chandler, that lived up to every billing we could have asked for tonight.
Yeah, sure did. It's 2 teams, a ton of respect for both of them, and the way the Rams battled down and able to win the first 2 matchups against this Eagles team. We got a very similar storyline and battle out here again tonight. This time the Eagles able to hold on, and another very, very close game. Ended up being 5 points with probably extra possession in there with a late score from the Rams, but both these teams showing how really close they are when in the 3 matchups they play being decided by just a handful of points.
Celebration in front of the Hudsonville student section starts up. We're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated version of the Bates Agency postgame show right here. We'll welcome you in. We'll do scoring. We'll just kind of try to fit it into the next warm-up when we go into our next stream. But Centennial Securities player of the game, Braden Shamray, 19 points, absolutely led the way. His work at the line at the end also iced this one away.
Yeah, exactly. The guy that they wanted in crunch time at the free throw line. Your playmaker in Shamray. The guy's hit shots free all season long. Is racking up the assists as well, dishing it off to his teammates, really getting this offense going.
All right, Hudsonville takes down Rockford. They move on 55-50. We are done with the first stream of the day, but don't go anywhere. Michigan Sports Radio on the Listen Live page or michigansportsradio.com/MGN. We are in just a few moments, about 2 minutes away. We're going to start up the second stream, Muskegon, East Kentwood. We'll wrap up this game a little bit more on that stream and then move in to a heck of a final matchup coming up between the Falcons and the Big Reds in just a few minutes. Congratulations to the Eagles. Hudsonville moving on to the next round. They will see a regional championship game here at West Otto. They were in it the last time there was a championship game in the regions here at West Otto High School. We'll see if they can maybe get a different result in that one than what they got last time. For Chandler Timmer, everyone at Michigan Sports Radio, Michigan Game Night, I am Nate Dreyer signing off. We'll see you all in